All right, guys, so if you haven't heard, the average testosterone level for men has been dropping over the last 20 or so years. In fact, one of the most prominent studies, a 2007 study in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism, revealed that a substantial drop in U.S. men's testosterone levels has been happening since the 1980s, with the average levels declining about 1% per year. Okay, so quite literally, we are not the men that our fathers used to be. Okay, and there's a whole lot of reasons for why this is happening that doesn't just have to do with aging, as testosterone deficiency has a prevalence of 10 to 40% among adult males and 20% among men age 15 through 39. And some of those reasons include lifestyle related stuff like exercise, diet, stress, certain chemicals that you may be exposed to in the environment that you work in, marital status. Married men tend to have lower levels of testosterone than unmarried men for whatever reason. Maybe it's because they spend more time around their wives and their kids. But, you know, there's also other factors like how much sex do you have and things like that. There's a whole lot of factors that are contributing to this. So this is an issue because obviously having low testosterone levels in men creates issues for men. It quite literally, men are becoming less masculine. Again, along with all the other health issues associated with decrease in testosterone levels. And Tucker Carlson decided to take on this topic in his new original documentary series that he is titling for this subject, The End of Men. Take a look.
One of the biggest stories of our lifetimes is the total collapse in testosterone levels in American men. Those levels are declining by roughly 10% per decade, completely changing the way people are at the most fundamental level. NIH does not seem interested in this at all. It's not a big deal. We think it is a huge deal. So we want to know what's causing it and what you can do about it. That's the topic of our upcoming documentary called The End of Men. Here's a look at the trailer.
I welcome this opportunity to speak to the people of America about a subject which I believe to be most important, and that is the subject of physical fitness. A country is as strong, really, as its citizens, and I think that mental and physical health go hand in hand. There is nothing, I think, more unfortunate than to have soft, chubby, fat-looking children. I hope that all of you will join, and everybody in the United States, to make sure that our children participate fully in a vigorous and adventurous life which is possible for them in this very rich country of ours.
There's been a 50% decline in sperm counts in the last 40 years, along with a precipitous decline in testosterone production. We're headed for a calamity, and that's not hyperbole, it's not exaggeration, it's just a mathematical fact.
Would you recommend young men to tan their balls?
To what?
Once a society collapses, then you're in hard times. Well, hard iron sharpens iron, as they say.
So when I saw that segment in that ad from Tucker Carlson, I thought that the message was obvious, right? It's about the declining testosterone levels in men and how this is an obvious problem for society. Okay, a society with weak men creates hard times, and that the drop in testosterone levels are creating weak men, right? And we need to get back to men doing things that men traditionally do, the masculine things that men traditionally do. As you can see there, the ad kind of was against obesity, right? Talking about how bad obesity is, which is linked to low testosterone levels, right? It kind of promoted men that were in shape, that were physically fit, okay, which is associated with higher testosterone levels, okay, exercise, diet, things like that. To me, it seemed to be an overall positive ad. However, the left did not see it that way, particularly the leftists on Twitter and the mainstream liberal media, as there's been numerous articles that have come out that have characterized this ad from Tucker Carlson as homoerotic or gay, right? That's what they're saying. I mean, Adam Kinzinger even went as far as to say that, quote, this is actually real. Evidently, he likes men without shirts, which may explain the Putin obsession. Okay, so they're basically trying to say that Tucker Carlson is gay for pushing an ad that is promoting men being more masculine and bringing awareness to this testosterone issue that is going on in this country. Okay, and I found it hilarious because these are the same people that always want to complain about homophobia, right? They always want to complain about that. But for that reason, it's totally fine to be homophobic when it comes to criticizing people on the right. Again, this is par for the course when it comes to leftists, okay, and their hypocrisy on things. But there are actually worse takes than calling this ad gay, as there are some people in the mainstream liberal media that actually are equating Tucker Carlson and what he's promoting here to white supremacy. And nobody should be surprised by the usual suspects that are promoting this rhetoric. Take a look.
Okay, this trip into Tuckum's dreamscape is absurd. I mean, testicle tanning, which supposedly raises testosterone levels in men, presumably not FDA approved, was absolutely a popular search term today. And we can make jokes about Tuckums because, I mean, come on, and laugh at him on Twitter. But the message here is far more nefarious. It's about the so-called decline in masculinity and the rise of the left. And it's a message that resonates deeply with Tuckum's Gen X to elderly white male evangelical audience. The formerly bow-tied Dancing with the Stars contestant's hypermasculinity flex is some pretty blatant fascist posturing. The decline of real men is code for conservative white men who need laser beams to make white babies. And if that all falls apart, that spooky old great replacement theory is bound to succeed. What's scarier is what the rhetoric translates into. From book banning to abortion bans and laws that regulate procreation in women's bodies. And what is now an obsession with the false notion that scary liberal saboteurs are going to turn your kids, meaning your sons, trans. That fascist posturing has led to fascist tendencies on the American right that worship tough guy, well, fake tough guy, Trump, who even as a ghostly presence can still reign as a party boss as he recreates New York's Tammany Hall at Mar-a-Lago.
I mean, it's a level of white male fragility that I don't think that we get to see anywhere other than prominently on Fox News with Tucker Carlson. I mean, the fact is that we are in a political climate and a culture, frankly, when we are looking at the world through a lens that isn't just white, male, cis, and straight. And that is terrifying for those that have built their entire career and their lives at the top of the pyramid. And now we're at a place in our culture and our world, and we're asking questions like, why? Right? Why don't we talk about other people? Why don't we recognize and appreciate other experiences that make the American project work? Right? And so by virtue of us being able to want to expand that table that so many people have been denied an opportunity to sit at, that looks in complete contrast to Fox News, to Tucker Carlson, and what they would desire from America, which is a version of 1950, 1952.
Yeah, so leave it up to MSNBC and their hosts to equate Tucker Carlson bringing awareness to the decline in testosterone and masculinity in this country among men to white supremacy, which shouldn't be any surprise because this is the same outlet that ran an opinion piece that equates the trend of, you know, people being more into fitness during the pandemic to white supremacy. Okay, I mean, nothing in their minds is not white supremacy. Okay, if the right, if conservatives like it, okay, if they're promoting it, it's white supremacy, even if it's objectively good. Okay, all the things that are objectively good in our society apparently are associated with whiteness, right? I mean, that's what the left does. That's what they do. Like hard work, critical thinking, rationality, individualism, you know, all the good things, right? Which makes sense because these leftists, they want, particularly for men, to have all the bad traits, right? For example, like being lazy, obese, feminized, woke, and liberal, right? That's what they want. Things that are associated with low testosterone. They don't want strong men. They want weak men because strong men are in direct opposition to their agenda, right? Particularly when it comes to the feminist agenda, particularly when it comes to the woke agenda. And that's why they're so triggered by Tucker Carlson bringing awareness to this stuff when it comes to the declining levels of testosterone in men, because ultimately what happens, guys, is that you know, if men become aware of this, then men might say, hey, you know what? I don't want my testosterone levels to drop like that. I need to take care of myself more. You know, I need to eat better. I need to exercise. I need to do all the things associated with having healthy testosterone levels. That might make them more masculine, right? That might make them more manly. That might make them stronger. And we can't have a society of strong men. No. We can't do that. Again, that's why they stoop so low as to call an ad that literally is about promoting masculinity gay, right? They try to say it's homoerotic simply because it has a segment in there about testicle tanning, aka red light therapy, okay? Which, you know, does it work? You know, that is a debate, okay, about whether or not it actually works. But they want to focus on that, okay? And then they want to call it white supremacy as well, too, as if, you know, black men or Asian men or Hispanic men or whatever man shouldn't be concerned about this as well too, because this is a problem that applies to all men, okay? You see how the framing goes here? If you have high testosterone, if you're worried about being masculine, then, you know, you're a white man, right? You see how it goes? You see how the framing here goes, okay? And this is why, you know, a lot of certain parts of the agenda from the left is being pushed on non-white men, particularly black men, okay? But yeah, with that being said, Tucker's segment here is very harmless, okay? The man does a segment that really is about promoting health and fitness. That's what it's about. It's about promoting health and fitness. There's a whole lot of negative health effects associated with having low testosterone. You would think in a sane world that's not super polarized that this would be a positive story only. I mean, there's not much to criticize here, okay? Yeah, is it a little over the top? Yeah, it is a little over the top. But at the same time, the message is clear and the message is positive. We should want a society of strong men, right? We should want a society of men that do things that are traditionally masculine and that we don't have this testosterone issue, okay? We should want that, right? But for whatever reason, the left got so triggered by that, right? They got so triggered by the idea of having a society of strong men, okay, that they had to come out and say it was gay and white supremacy to suggest, you know, we should be concerned about this issue. But again, I'm never surprised about what comes out from the left. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a black conservative perspective. Peace.